Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto Under 20. I'm not quite sure where it is today. I'll have to look it up. But today is literally Friday, May 11th, and I worked overnight, and I got a message from one of the early birds from I think he's in Ireland, saying no video this morning, and it's like, whoa. How did that happen? Like the other day, you got two in one day, and the other day. Anyway, I guess I've been busy, and with our with our TV that had to be replaced, and then Greg broke a terrarium, the glass and dirt everywhere, and my working overnights. It's been just a little crazy around this household here on Cape Cod, but that's all right. Here I am now, and it's Friday, so I have an assignment for you. The Keto Edge Summit. I'm not quite sure when it ends, but unbelievable what I heard today. Unfortunately, they let you see them for free for 24 hours, and so he came and went. So your homework assignment today is to find Doug Kaufman, Kaufman, on YouTube, or just Google his name and his website will come up. And he's like Dr. Fungi, except he's not a doctor, but he is an expert on fungus. I remember we used to say there's a fungus among us. And so, wow, from that level up, talking about mold and parasites and, what could get inside of us and just totally destroy what we're all about. I mean, just amazing. He's 68 degrees. He's 68 degrees. He's 68 years old, and he talks about how he began to learn about this sort of stuff when he had been in Vietnam. So he's a year older than me, and obviously back in the late 60s, 70s, and he went to Vietnam, and he was working with doctors there, which he's continued to do since he's been back, and he specializes in this, and he has this Kaufman diet. Sounds a little bit like keto, and he talked about ketogenic diets the whole way through. So if you look up his website, you might be able to learn a little bit about him, but he's a fascinating man, Doug Kaufman. And clearly he knows his stuff, and he's got a wonderful way of putting it, and how we eat and what we should eat and what we should avoid. And he was interviewed by Dr. David Jockers, who's kind of in charge of this Keto Summit, or all these interviews. And he did a terrific job about like what foods you shouldn't have to what foods you should have, and how the mold can be hiding in things like the nuts, and the trouble that we could get into with peanuts because it's a legume. Fascinating. So Doug Kaufman, look him up. But then later on in my shift, I was able to, it's a whole new drop, and it's free for the day. So today is Friday, May 11th. So this is a fresh one. And so you can click in and listen to today's talks for nothing. So it is the Keto Edge Summit, and you will see that each day there's free shows through Mother's Day. And so today I was listening to Jimmie Moore, and it's great because I've seen some podcasts of his, and so is Scott the truck driver, remarking on the weight that he's gained. And he addresses that head on in this talk. And he's being interviewed by Dr. David Jockers again at his house in South Carolina. So it was fascinating. And he focused an awful lot, in a good way, cholesterol, and his book, Keto Cholesterol. And I had a copy of it, and I gave it to my doctor because she was so concerned about my high cholesterol. And I ordered another one, or so I thought, and what I got was Keto Clarity instead of Keto Cholesterol. I barely cracked it, and I gave it to her. So anyway, bulletproof. I've had a crazy morning already. And so don't push me, okay? So it's a great interview. It's over an hour. I've got about 15 more minutes left, but you can watch him free for the rest of today, Friday. And also today for nothing, good for nothing, you'll be able to see Gez Agoli, and he is keto in a clinical setting, Agolli, and he's got a whole bunch of alphabet letters after his name. Jack Wolfson, keto for heart disease. Brian Mowell, beating diabetes with a ketogenic diet, and then Jimmie Moore. And so they're fabulous sessions. I mean, they're one-on-one with Dr. Jockers, who promotes the ketogenic diet, interviewing people that promote the ketogenic diet. So it's a brain trust of just great, great information. And I was listening to Jimmie Moore talk about macros and what he has, what he suggests. And it's just kind of funny because when I work with the older female metabolism, it's different, you know. And he's got a big frame with a lot of extra weight still on it. He's put it on. And so he admits that there must be some underlying reason for it. But I just wanted to tip you off to that because it ends tomorrow. And I don't know who they'll have tomorrow. But if you sign up for it and you get the email notification, that's how I actually clicked into it. Because when I went on to the Keto Edge Summit, I couldn't really quite get to the free videos like I could this way. So it's busy. It's Friday. And I came home and I immediately began a batch of the cheeseburger soup, except I don't put in the condiments like the relish and the mustard and ketchup. So mine's an abbreviated version. It has heavy cream, full-fat cream cheese, both organic, some Emerald beef stock organic, a pound of grass-fed burger, spices, and it is now, and then I put in Rao's pizza sauce, just like maybe 2.5 to 3 tablespoons. I don't even think 3, 2. And it's now simmering. So that'll be the soup du jour next week. I don't know what night yet, but I love to have it. It takes, you know, it's done, it's in the fridge, and it's just a nice break from larger proteined meals. Now today, for example, on my chronometer, we're having that Mississippi roast stew that I make by adding the cauliflower crumbles and radishes that look like new potatoes. And so I'm having a great big cup of that, and I'm having a spinach salad with 100 grams of spinach and 12 grams of blue cheese crumbled on it, 2 tablespoons of oil, and then I've got 3 tablespoons of butter that I just use in cooking. I don't always have it, but it's there. And so my macros for today are 1,436 calories. My protein is 37 grams. My carbs are 8.9, very happy with that. And my fat is 133. So it's a darn near perfect day for me food-wise. I like this, and it fits 1,436 calories. So that's what I'm having, y'all. And I look forward to it. I work again tonight at midnight, so I begin eating at 3. And so, yeah, I haven't even turned on the new TV yet. But Greg finished cleaning up all the glass from the terrarium, did most of the setup of it. And he said that YouTube thing and that Prime thing and that, what's the other one? Oh, Netflix. He said, those are on you. So I saw that he had, now be honest, don't roll your eyes at me, but these are my passwords, right? I don't know about you guys, but like you can just about forget about, you know, thinking you got one and done. I mean, and when they change on you and then they say, don't use something you've used before. And it's like, you're kidding me, right? Is this a test for my 67-year-old brain? I'm going to need more brain octane. So, yep, you have my food plan. You know what I'm cooking right now. Then I'm going to cook up some thick cut bacon. I've got to refill some spice things from the bigger things to the ones that I have. I have it's an old house here, and so it's an ironing board that was in the kitchen, and Greg turned it into a spice rack, so it's perfect because, you know, by the time where the iron would have fit when you folded it up and put it in, are little shelves, and it's like one spice each, so it's perfect. So what I do is I fill up with the bigger ones that from McCormick that are downstairs in the what I call the Walmart room. So that's what's going on here. It's going to be a keto-fied day. I'm having my second bulletproof coffee now, and I wanted to get this up because as Viv told me, yep, I forgot to upload one today. What a ditzy week I've had. So anyway, that's it from me to you. I hope you can get in a look-see at Doug Kaufman and maybe one of those four gentlemen that is being interviewed by Dr. David Jockers today. I started with Jimmie Moore because he's one of my favorites, and it was incredibly helpful, especially if any of you have high cholesterol and are kind of pushed to have, he called it, he's so funny, he goes, there's your doctor telling you got a statin deficiency. So any of you that have been confronted by the doctor that is just so hot to write that Lipitor or whatever other one it could be, and he's talking about cholesterol, and I'm going, yay, because I had a high cholesterol reading. I had the NMR done. My doctor had never heard of that. That separates the men from the boys. It separates the light and fluffy, pattern A, or the small and dense, pattern B, in your LDL. And so she'd never even heard of the test, so she couldn't read what it meant. And so I submitted it, and actually Richard Morris of Two Keto Dudes on their website actually read mine and got back to me and said it's like light and fluffy, you're all set. So that's what we're doing here. But then Jimmie also talked about the cost of tests that you can do for yourself. He says he doesn't know if it's legal in every state, but it is in South Carolina, where if you don't want to deal with doctors, you can just send them some money and they will do it. And I think my NMR was like $10 copay. Usually my copays are like 20, so I don't know, I'll take it. And so it worked. That was through the doctor. And so it was a very insightful, pretty much current, although I did see a fir tree in the back, and I wasn't sure if it was a Christmas tree, an artificial one that hadn't been put away yet, or maybe a real one sitting in front of a window, because we've done that with Norfolk pines and had them in front of windows. So anyway, that's it. It was a good listen to. I've got 15 more minutes. I just wanted to get this up to you because it slipped my mind. So have a wonderful weekend, and I'm curious if you check into these men in the Keto Summit that's on through Mother's Day to catch some of those free brain trust, incredible knowledge people that are being interviewed. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, under 20. In fact, mine's under 10 today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.